Hey man, even in a lost season, the Dallas Cowboys know how to make things interesting, right? Hey man, so going to be talking about the Dallas Cowboys beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a lost season again, 26-24 in a compelling game by the Dallas Cowboys. It was a really fun, entertaining game to watch. It just sucks that we're not going to be able to make the playoffs, but again, it doesn't matter because we all felt like they weren't going to make the playoffs. Some people felt like it was going to happen before the season. Some people felt that once they saw the events that happened after New Orleans and Baltimore. Some felt like that after the Niner game, after that Detroit game. People definitely knew after Dak Prescott went down against the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta and he tore his hamstring off the bone. So I'm going to talk about this game, what I really expect from the Dallas Cowboys moving forward, and things of that nature. So before we hop into the video, I would appreciate if you guys would like the video, subscribe if you're new, comment, and share my video with anyone who you think will enjoy my content. So again, the Dallas Cowboys. I'm gonna talk about this team really just briefly. I think that the Dallas Cowboys, they're just a funny team, man. They're funny style to me. When you don't have anything on the line, you don't got nothing to lose. Nothing matters anymore. Now you're playing like this, and it is just crazy to me because it's just like defense playing stoutly, offense was moving the ball in the first three quarters. They were moving it like no other. We had a tough time running the ball, but that normally is what happens when we do play against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's tough to run on them, but you can have their way when you're throwing the ball against them. Baker Mayfield had 304 yards passing, two touchdowns, an interception. He got sacked four times. Pass rush was able to get home. Maris Sloof had a hell of a game. Donovan Wilson was playing really great in terms of hitting the ball, hitting people as he normally does. So, it's just funny watching this team. And, you kind of wonder what they're going to do next year. Are we going to get a new head coach? Are we possibly going to keep McCarthy at least for one more year and then just run it back with the same coordinators and things of that nature, man? But, now the NFC South is getting a lot more competitive. We bailed out the Atlanta Falcons, a team that embarrassed us early in the season. And, now we bailed them out by beating their rival in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And they got their win today with Michael Penix as his first career start. He got a W for them. So, talk about the game. I said that the Dallas Cowboys wanted to win the game. They had to stop the run. Although we did allow 134 yards rushing, Baker burnt us on the ground. I did say that in my video yesterday, that if the Dallas Cowboys wanted to win, of course you got to stop the run, but you have to watch out for Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield when he wants to run the ball because he still is a little bit elusive. So he can, he can burn you with his legs. But he was 31 of 43, passed for 304 yards, two touchdowns, one interception, got sacked four times. Then also, Bucky Irvin was 16 carries of 68 yards, one touchdown. Baker was 3 of 42. Sterling Shepard was 1 of 14. Rashad White was 3 of 10. So again, I mean, Baker Mayfield, that does still hurt us in the long run in terms of the rushing total. But if you really take off, some of his runs, you contain him. We really, like, from the running back perspective, we really held down the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Their two running backs only got 78 yards, and then they got most of the yards outside of Bucky Irvin. Their second leading rusher was Baker Mayfield. Again, that's something that we have to pay attention for. Mike Evans, we held him down. I felt that if we were going to have, again, another dominant game, that we couldn't let Baker Mayfield have a master class in terms of throwing the ball like how he did last week versus the LA Chargers. When the Tampa Bay Buccaneers hitting on all cylinders, they're able to throw the ball all over the field, and they weren't able to do that. Mike Evans, Hall of Fame wide receiver. There was a big catch that he made for 26 yards, but I did say that he is going to Hall of Fame, and that was talked about all tonight, on the broadcast. They were saying that he is going to the Hall of Fame, and he is, in my opinion. I think when he retires, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, in my opinion. He has the stats, he has the accolades, and he won a championship. So I think that he will for sure be a first ballot Hall of Fame. But although that you can't completely shut them down, the hope that you can do is contain them. That's what we did. We played too high most of the game. We had a safety help over Mike Evans most of the game. So Mike Evans only had 5 catches, 69 yards. and he got targeted 8 times, but he didn't go crazy on us, right? And you thought that he would have, considering that we didn't have Trayvon Diggs, but Deron Bland made a hell of a play tonight, forced a fumble, things of that nature. He played great tonight. I don't expect, I expect that from Bland. Jordan Lewis had a great interception on Jalen McMillan. That was a really great interception in the red zone that he made. Baker Mayfield threw it in the end zone, but Jordan Lewis would come up and make that interception. Defense was getting takeaways. Just things that are just like, where was this when Dak Prescott was playing? That's all I gotta say. Where was this when Dak was playing? Um, Jalen McMillan, speaking about him, he had 5 catches, 57 yards, and a touchdown. Rashad White, 7 catches, 51 yards. Again, we forced a fumble on Rashad White. We forced 3 fumbles on Payne Durham, Baker Mayfield. Payne Durham was that tight end that Marisol foul knocked the wind out of it, and that was a heck of a forced fumble. Well, no, he knocked the wind out of that, but then he also stripped him of the ball. But I remember Baker Mayfield recovered on it. So that was one of them as well. Uh, Offensively, talk about the Dallas Cowboys offense. We couldn't run the ball today. We ran the ball 20 times, only got 31 rushing yards and got a touchdown. That was Ezekiel Elliott's only carry of the game, and that was a touchdown. Congrats to him. He only needs one more rushing touchdown on the season to tie up 20 Dorsett. So I'm pretty sure that the coaching staff knows that, and they will get that done for him. Cooper Rush was 26 of 35. That's the top of the passing attempts that you want Cooper Rush to be around that 25 to 35 range. You want to keep him anywhere from 25 to 30, 35 if we're in kind of tight knit, close games like this. Throwing the ball 35 times isn't going to hurt anybody, but 292, a touchdown. He did play solid today. There's nothing that anybody can really say about Cooper Rush today. He played a hell of a game. He had put together 2 really good weeks of performances. And, also talk about Team Tank because I'm part of that crew of Team Tanking. Now when you look at it, there was a lot that happened today, honestly, in terms of um, possible seedings and stuff like that in terms of drafting. Now with the Dallas Cowboys win, going into today's matchup, there were 12, and with this win, they go all the way down to 15. So I think Dallas Cowboys will end up with a top 18, 19 pick. Honestly, of course, we're eliminated from the playoffs, so that's the only major news for the Dallas Cowboys. Prayerfully, we came out healthy for the most part of this game, really. But really, when the Dallas Cowboys pick in the middle of the first round, that's when they sometimes end up getting the best player available coming to them, and that's when they get most of their impact type players is when they pick in the middle of the first round. I really wanted the Dallas Cowboys to stick at 12, be around that top 13, top 14 range, because I felt like that's where they could have got them possibly, maybe Malachi Starks if they were eyeing safety, Ashton Genty, Luther Burden. I think if they wanted to get some of those guys, I think if they wanted to remain in the top 15, or not really top 15, but really if they remain in the top 10, I would have felt a lot more confident in the player that we would have gotten. But I still felt like that there's going to be a lot of great players available to the Dallas Cowboys if they drop to like 17, if they win 1 or 2 more games, which I doubt. But let's say if they win one more game, and that game's against Philly next week, because you know, Jalen Hurts is not going to play next week because he got a concussion in this game, and normally you're out for the game that you suffered the concussion, and you're out for the next week. So I don't think Jalen Hurts is going to play next week, but we're going to talk about that matchup next week, of course. But Dallas Cowboys right now currently on tankathon.com, we pick 15th. That is subject to change, things of that nature. But, if right now I'm looking on the Tankathon mock. If they had taken Luther Burden, that's a damn good Robin to CD's Batman, right? And CD had a hell of a game today. Again, going back to the game, CD Lamb had 7 catches, 105 yards. Um, could have had a touchdown. Brandon Cooks was 3 of 48. Ryan Flournoy popped up. He did his thing today. I was really proud of him. And he got a lot of targets because Jalen Tolbert suffered a hand injury towards the end of the first half when Cooper Rush threw up that Hail Mary-like ball. And he was holding his hand. I think by what it looks like, he possibly dislocated his right middle finger. Hopefully that isn't the case, but I think that's what he ended up doing. But prayerfully it isn't too bad, right? But he did catch a touchdown. He did a nice little double move on Levante David in the back of the end zone, and Cooper Rush threw a hell of a football and threaded the needle right past Levante David's head. That's another Hall of Famer, Levante David. So, really great game tonight. I was proud of the offense, proud of the defense, proud of the special teams. This was a great overall win. I was proud of Mike Zimmer the way he coached the game. Same goes for Michael from Pittsburgh and Coach Mike McCarthy. He had a really good game, but it got a little goofy at the end, of course, like it always does offensively. We always look a little bit goofy. And the drive I'm talking about is after that Jordan Lewis had that hell of an interception on Jalen McMillan. I felt like we could have ended the game right there because when Jordan Lewis made that play and we had the ball, it was like 5 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock. I felt like if we convert 2 or 3 first downs and we just keep the clock moving, I think that we end the ball, kneeling the ball and doing the Landry shift instead of Deron Bland having to strip the ball from former ASU alum Rashad White. So, it is what it is. I was proud of the win. Again, seeding and not seeding, but in terms of wanting to play spoiler, that might be fun depending on how the Atlanta Falcons and the Seattle Seahawks play down the stretch of the season, and the Washington Commanders. We can possibly play spoiler if Washington and Seattle or Washington and one of those last wildcard teams play. Um, if they play better towards the stretch of the games and, Washington slips up. But I think Washington is going to secure that 7th seed. I think they might make the playoffs, in my opinion. But again, that's about it for the video. The Dallas Cowboys played a really good game. They played great defense, great offense. We were able to move the ball. We stopped the run for the most part. I know the final stat will say that you gave up 134 yards rushing, but only allowing one rushing yard touchdown and not allowing one individual runner to gain over 100 yards was really great. And the same thing receiving. You didn't allow anyone to get over 100 yards or 10 plus catches. So overall, it was a really great game. So that's about it for the video. Hope you guys have a nice day. Stay safe, stay blessed. Happy holidays. Have Merry Christmas to everyone who celebrates. You guys have a great day. Bye.